am Vania from Clozette, Malaysia, and today we have Dan, aka Danielle, who is an online and radio personality with us today.
Hi!
Yes, so we are going to be talking about something that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. So watch with discretion. We are going to actually talk about how social media is these days. So Danielle, why don't you tell us what do you think the social media environment is like nowadays?
To be honest, I feel like it really depends on the platform, like which social media platform you are on. Facebook, it's really, you know, it's businessy and like network kind of vibes. Yeah, news, catching up with family members and stuff like that. But when it comes to Instagram, it's a platform that we all use.
Yeah.
But I think Twitter is super toxic. I feel like I tend to stray away from Twitter.
I'm never on Twitter actually.
Good. Don't go on Twitter. I think it's a social media platform where people tend to express themselves. So that's why I feel like it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes because people just want to like share their opinions, and it might not be like the best way to express their opinions.
You know, when you express yourself, you have a tendency to just really let it all out. It's raw, it's non-filtered.
Yeah.
What do you think about political correctness?
Great question. So I was having a conversation with my dad just yesterday about this whole like issue on being political correct.
Yeah.
And I think we have to understand what being political correct means. What do you think about? What do you think it means?
For me, I would define it as saying, expressing yourself in a filtered manner so that you do not like offend anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in any like racist context or anything at all. But in this time, right, I feel that anything you say can be offensive.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think maybe politically correct could sometimes, or to me personally, I feel like being politically correct might not necessarily be morally correct or ethically right.
Yeah.
You know, having the need to be politically correct all the time can limit someone from actually expressing their true personal values, moral beliefs, etc.
So in that sense, it would be a little bit harder to actually get a message across.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
if you're constantly thinking about, take people's feelings in consideration when you're sharing an opinion or talking about something, or even going into a dialogue or a debate. But with that being said, like, you know, being politically correct, sometimes it's like double standards, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of a very gray area to play around with, especially when there is freedom of expression that steps in.
Yeah.
So there is like that whole gray area which is quite huge, and we can't really, there's no way to go around it right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Just a very random question. Do you think that people are somewhat addicted to social media toxicity?
Wow, what a question.
This just came into my mind.
Good question. I think no. I don't think people are addicted to social media toxicity. So social media toxicness, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. I think being on social media, if you are a toxic person, but who am I to say you're a toxic person, right? Like, if you don't have that strong-minded perspective or outlook in life, then social media can be a very dangerous place. I think it also depends on how you can take it, how you absorb things, you know, on social media as well. Like, I used to post a picture on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I started getting followers and all that, blah, blah, whatever, I started getting self-conscious. I started being like, should I post this? What will people say? What will people say about the way that I look? Or my contact lens, are they too bright? Or, you know, like my cleavage is showing, things like that. And I feel like if you constantly have this, like, I don't know, if you think if you think that way, then social media can really be harmful to you. Like, and it can be harmful to you in a way that you're not conscious about. When I started getting conscious about like, oh, what will people say, what people do, I still did it anyway, because then it hit me, and I still hold this value close to my heart. Like, we're not here to please everybody.
Correct.
You know, like,
totally agree.
Yeah. So people can say things about you or disagree with you, but at the end of the day, it's your platform, it's your social media.
Do you have any piece of advice for people who are finding it difficult to be themselves online?
So my job requires to work a lot with influencers, other social media influencers and stuff like that. And I find that a lot of them are very different from what they portray themselves to be on social media. And it's not a bad thing, because I truly believe that this is your online persona, right?
Yes.
Not to say that it's not who you are, because it came from...
I think essentially it's still the same person, just maybe an accentuated part of it.
Yeah, it's
an amplified version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being someone on such a public platform, there's some criteria to fill up. You know what I mean? Yeah, a checklist to kind of fill up. You have to be this, you have to be that.
Since our personality online is accentuated, and people have the tendency to say certain things, do you think that our audiences nowadays have become hypersensitive to anything and anyone who says anything?
I feel like sometimes people can be. I think what people, and I'm speaking from experience, right? People tend to forget that these people online, these online personas, these social media influencers, they're people as well, and they always have expectations of these people. But I personally cannot blame them. Who you put out yourself to be on social media is what you want people to perceive of you.
Yeah, correct.
So when people have these expectations or thoughts about you, then they have these expectations and thoughts of you. And then when you don't meet up to those expectations, they get really like hypersensitive and like, oh, you don't agree with me that the sky is blue, but the sky is blue, but the sky isn't blue all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, people can tend to be a little bit hypersensitive only because they believe in the whole right and wrong opinion. There's no such thing as a right and wrong opinion. There's only your opinion and my opinion. Different opinions. And I think understanding it is totally different from accepting it.
Yeah.
If you accept someone's opinion, then you are acknowledging that they have different views as you respect their view, and you move on with life.
Yeah.
And not like, cancel, you're cancelled and stuff, like,
cancel culture, don't even get me started on that, man. Like, it's so annoying that people would dig things up from like 10 years ago and like attack you with it.
Yeah.
I mean, back then it was fine. How come now 10 years later we are here and using this as something to attack someone and cancel someone?
I personally believe that cancel culture and people that practice cancel culture are people that are just, and I say this with all respect, super ignorant and just they feel like they're entitled in some way, you know? There are people that think that, okay, is it appropriate to cancel someone if that person did something super bad, unforgivable, beyond reconciliation? I've always been a person that believes in second chances and forgive in order for us to kind of like, there's hope. There's always some good in people. And if you cancel someone, then as an individual, what am I teaching others, and including this person? That you're a bad human being and that there's no hope or salvation for you? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because I felt like there was an issue like way back. I did something online that people didn't that didn't sit well with people.
Okay. You want to share it?
Yeah, sure. So
only if you're comfortable.
Yeah. I think I haven't spoken to anybody about this.
Okay.
About
exclusive
this.
Guys on
about that. About what happened. So it was one day I was on Instagram, and I don't know if you know about Tekashi69. He's an artist. Yeah. So Tekashi69, he was released from jail and he came back. And I've always found his music empowering in a way. When I was introduced to his music at first, and you know, as a DJ, I always like to listen to like different types of music, and I appreciate all kinds of music. So when I was introduced to his music, it felt very empowering. Like even though it was very like, I would say like really gangster rap and stuff, you know, like super dark, super in your face. But I always look at things from different angles. And I liked how his music was very like, I don't give a shit if you don't like me. I'm like the #1 artist. I'm making millions. I'm giving back to my community with the money that I'm making and stuff like that, you know? So I also like to look at like, even though that person might not be the best person in the world, there are some qualities that I can take from this person and apply it in my, you know, in whatever that I do. And like, you know, when he came back, he released a song and I reposted
I think I saw this one.
I
think I saw this one.
So I reposted it, and a lot of people, especially girls, it didn't sit well with them because they felt like because he was convicted as a pedophile, as a rapist, as a sex offender. They were saying that because I was using my platform to support his music, support him as an artist, that I was also someone that supports the act of sex offender, you know?
Okay, so that there wasn't any, to them, they couldn't differentiate like work of art and the personality of the artist themselves.
So in my opinion, I was like, okay, that's how you see things, but try to understand how I see things. You know? Like, okay, it didn't cross my mind what he did way back in the day, you know, his criminal record and stuff. I was just, at the spur of the moment, as someone who enjoys his music and just his music, his art, I was like, okay, he's back and I like this song. I'm gonna share it. The video is cool, you know? Like, I'm just gonna share it. And that was just my intention. My intention was never to offend people and say like, yeah, sex offender for life. Like, that wasn't my intention, you know? But people took it the wrong way, and someone slid into my DMs and was like, hey, his criminal record and telling me about what he did, and I was like, I know these things, but I'm not sharing it to put him on a pedestal in light of all these things that he's done. I'm just sharing the music that I like. And people don't see it that way. People see it as me supporting a sex offender and using my platform to give a platform to a sex offender. I understood where they were coming from, you know, totally understood. But it was really sad that they didn't understand where I was coming from.
How did that end?
It didn't end very well, because this person who came in a dialogue with me, she asked me if, you know, we were sharing opinions and stuff, and I told her, you know, I respect your opinion, but this is my opinion, and this is how I view things. And she said, would you mind if I shared this conversation on my Instagram? I felt like I shouldn't have said yes. I should have said, I would really appreciate it if you could just keep this conversation between you and me. But if you want to share your views on it, feel free to go ahead. But at that moment, I was trying to, my intentions were like, okay, if you want to have a dialogue with me and talk it out, sure. This is how I view the world, and I'm open to understanding how you view the world and view this situation. But she was putting me in a really, really bad light. This person was sharing stories of other people and how they were saying that, oh, if Danielle is supportive of likes music from a sex offender, that means she's a sex offender. And these are people that like know me. These people that started coming at me, they are like people that I follow on Instagram. These are people that know me as a person. But then it hit me, I was like, these people don't know me. Because if they knew who I really was, if they knew me as like Danielle, they wouldn't quickly jump to the conclusion of like my intentions are bad. You know?
Exactly. I mean, if they were really someone that you know,
if they were my real friends, I wouldn't have to explain myself.
If you needed to engage in a conversation with them, I mean, you could always agree to disagree. I mean, it's okay to have like different opinions. like me and my friends as well. We have different opinions on certain things,
Yeah.
and that's it. It just stops there. We just exchange our opinions, and
Absolutely.
I think those kind of conversations are conversations that are very valuable these days, rather than just talking about like, what this person did, what that person did.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we're all grown-ups here. I feel like if I have a problem with you, I could just sit down and have a conversation with you. So PSA, if you have something you want to raise with me, let's talk, let's have a proper conversation like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But I found out later after that incident, there were so many people, like girls, my friends, who, they quickly unfollowed me, didn't even talk to me.
Bother clarifying.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, Danielle said this, bye. Danielle said that, bye,
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed. And the fact that I voiced my opinions, this person that engaged in the dialogue with me, she expressed that she was disappointed in me. And I'm like, girl, I am not here to impress you or expect you to agree with me or wow you, I'm not here to be an idol or whatever. Like, I understand that, you and I, we both have our platforms, we have our audience, and we have to always be careful and be considerate about what we put out. But with that being said, like, this is who we are, this is who I am, this is my platform. I get to do and decide what I say and do on my platform.
That is a really, really tricky situation, because I feel that it's very difficult to get people to see things from your point of view, especially when they are very close-minded and just one-way street.
The sad part is these people that I thought were open-minded are just so straight. They see things one way.
Oh, have you ever heard of tone policing?
Honestly, no. But then when I Googled it, I was like, oh. Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't, but I came across this Instagram post, and the definition of tone policing is the act of silencing a person's ideas and thoughts on the basis of their emotional tone, and therefore ignoring the actual content of their message. So just because you are expressing yourself in a tone that is deemed like rude, you actually are not listening to the person.
Right. So if I'm emotional when I'm telling you something,
yes,
like, why did you take my lunch? You're not listening to me.
Yes.
Because I'm being emotional, right?
I would probably say like, why are you so rude?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Ignore the message
ignore
that comes
your message.
with. Okay. Have you ever experienced this before?
I have, actually. Apparently, I've been told that I have tonality issues, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can't people just chill, man? Like,
I mean, I'm an emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very much like you as well. I'm just like, I am me, and that's it. You do you, I do me. Everybody's happy, you know? But when you get upset about certain things, sometimes you can't control yourself. You can't really control your tone. If you're not really aware of it, sometimes it comes off as very rude and dismissive. Yeah. But I guess the other party also has to have some form of understanding, because the person who told me that I have tonality issues are actually people who are close to me. So it is an issue per se, and I've been trying to fix it.
That's good. I feel like that takes a lot when feedback from someone that you know is coming at you, and you tend to take into consideration and try to work on yourself. But that's something to admire, like, really. There's not many people that can do that. People just take it like, oh, you're not perfect. You do this, you do that, So for you to say that you are working on it just because someone says ABC about you, that's great. Like, people should be more like that. Yeah, really.
Have you had any experiences with that? Tone policing?
Yeah, even at home, my sister never. No, I'm just kidding. I think more or less. But I think when it comes to tone policing, I think the greatest example is the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I personally feel that if people is voicing out their opinion in such an emotional manner, all the more reason to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, because it's something that really matters, that can invoke all the emotions in you that actually, like, it just comes pouring out.
Yeah, and if someone is just, eyes crying and like emotional, angry, that's when you should like take a chill pill and like sit down and listen to this person.
Take a step back, try to feel what they're feeling.
Yeah, try to be empathetic and just listen. And maybe your issues can be resolved, because it takes a lot for someone to express themselves in such a manner.
It's actually very brave for a person to just come out and speak about it.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you think we can make social media a better place?
Just delete the app. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, we can't live without social media. You know, it's a great place to get in touch with our friends, express ourselves, get news, keep ourselves updated. You know, even make money. I just feel like people should be a little bit more kind online.
Be kind, guys.
Yeah, be kind. People are going through a lot of things, especially today, especially with what is going on in the world today. So with everything that we do, with everything that we say, why say bad things? Why leave negative comments? You know, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it. Yeah, if you don't have anything nice to share, then don't share it. And I think that's the greatest step into making social media a better place. With this being said, I'm not discouraging people to express themselves. If that's the way you want to do it, then go ahead. But then there are always consequences that follow. If we are feeding into the bad vibes on social media, then why are we on social media in the first place? Like you have to kind of have to look at like what, you know, what's your purpose on social media? Just be kind, more kind.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye!